You've got your father's eyes, you've got your mother's mind. It walks a wild line. Left side, right side, no threat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there we go. I'm Mike Wazowski myself. Welcome to NGS, everybody. I'm Ghost Dunk. Thank you so much for joining me. Tonight, we've got the Division A West Finals between Archetype and Adults with Jobs, the number 1 and number 2 seed, respectively. And speaking of which, we're going to move on over to the brackets, where we'll check out how A West has shook out so far. Archetype made it through Baby Makers. A tough match there. But they blasted right through Blasting Burrows into the finals. Adults with Jobs beat Soak Every Lane and Stepdads, both 2-0. So they're coming off a very impressive streak into the finals. Looks like they may have the momentum. But Archetype, though, the number 1 seed and probably the favorites, if you talk to me personally as a player, as well as a lot of other players in Div A have scrimmed Archetype, and so they're seeing that they're a very strong team. So, very exciting match tonight. I hope both teams go out. I want to see 3 games tonight. We're going to make it really roll, but I think both teams are ready to go, and we're going to get into the draft very soon. The first map tonight is Towers of Doom. This is the choice of Archetype. Archetype went for map pick. They banned Brax's Holdout. Adults with Jobs banned Cursed Hollow. And so now we're going to Towers of Doom. So let's go ahead and get into the draft tonight, or game number 1.
Towers of Doom.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so into the draft we go. There it is. We're waiting for the players to connect, and really, there we go. All right, looking a lot better there. There we go. Okay, got the video up and rolling once again. Bans are going to be interesting because bans have fluctuated between teams. We are on the Mal'Ganis patch, but Mal'Ganis is not allowed for everybody at home. Otherwise, I expect to see maybe a Genji ban, maybe an Asmodin ban, but Malthael, the first ban from Adults with Jobs, they've been, thank you so much, Norian, I appreciate that very much. But yeah, Malthael, an interesting ban. It looks like they maybe want to have dominance in the top lane or double soak if they're going to double soak. And yeah, here's the Blaze. Both teams now trying to limit the option on the other team for who's going to be up top, potentially double soaking. This map in this level of play is usually focusing on bottom. That's right. You want to get those sappers and you want to push in bottom. There's the Dahaka. Global advantage can be huge here, and Dahaka is one of the better players on here, and both teams really understanding what they want to go for. Maev, the next band out, she's very strong as well, and Adults with Jobs probably plays her very well. So that's a smart band from Archetype. Now Adults with Jobs being the next ones to go here. Really interesting to see what this number 1 pick. It is going to be the URL, and that's what they've decided to go with. And I wonder if this is a Leoric or something crazy, because they've eliminated so many of the typical offlaners right off the bat. We got a super flip call out there in the chat. It's a 2-minute delay, so I'm just seeing it here. Something about a super flip or a super kick. I don't know. I'm not sure the difference between those two. I mean, I guess one's a flip and one's a kick, but Diablo and Deckard immediately here. Deckard has got the sleep in the Diablo APOC combo is something you can do. Lightning Breath also available, but Johanna and Cassia for the double blind, they may be expecting a Phoenix play coming out, or Rainer, or something of that nature. So the double blind as well as the wave clear from Johanna. Also Cassia, very strong in general. Strong enough damage to be a hyper carry if they want to go that route. Let me just adjust here. Whitemane being banned out. They've already got their support player. So, I mean, unless they go double support, which would be kind of unusual in this particular draft. Banning out support, kind of going for a support choke. Not really sure what the rest of Adults with Jobs plan is. They could go the Asmodan with the Johanna. I mean, that's always up their sleeve. I think it's unlikely. And Mage banned out. They don't want the Li Ming. Li Ming, ranged mages can be very good in this map, so Li Ming, a smart ban. I like it. And the next two picks coming out for Archetype. They're going with the Hanzo Jaina, so they've got the range and they've got the blow up. It's a very powerful combination from those two. It could go into the APOC Stay a While combo with a Dragon Arrow along with Ring of Frost. So some really dangerous stuff they got to deal with. And now Adults with Jobs really thinking about their final two picks and how they're going to handle it. In the end, they decided to go with the Lily. They really are all in on this blind. And I have to imagine that it is for the Cassia hyper carry. You want those blinds to be permanently on everybody as much as possible so Cassia can get that extra damage. So all in on the blind Cassia comp with an Abathur to boot. Very interesting comp coming out from Adults with Jobs. And the last pick to hang out here in Archetype is gonna be the Sonya. So instead, it's interesting they go for the Blaze Choke, and then they end up with Sonya. Sonya not as strong of an offlaner in the current meta. She's very strong in general, but someone like Yrel, I don't know who wins on the wave clear battle between Yrel and Sonya at the moment. It's very possible that Yrel does, and if that's the case, Adults with Jobs have the rotational advantage, but they also have an Abathur, which means that he can be everywhere. And Lord Boo, you called it, man. I know you got the 2-minute delay, and you got it right on the money. My friend. So very good. And now, looking at Archetype, though, they are just straight up combo potential. Murder composition from there. So the Cassia is going to have to poke one of these people down, and Lily and Abathur are going to have to keep her alive long enough to avoid the major damage that will be happening on the side of Adults with Jobs here. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do, but whatever. I wish there was an easier way to bring that down, but I don't have a very good fader. Anyways, on the side of the Raven Lord, we've got Archetype with Renoris playing the Deckard Cain and apparently carrying the team. Super Flip playing the Hanzo, Odin playing the Sonya, Solo playing the Jaina, Virtuosa playing the Diablo. And on the side of the Gravekeeper, we've got Adults with Jobs with Nat on the Abathur, Randy playing the Lily. So Nat's the support player, now playing the Abathur. Retro Funk on the Cassia, carrying everybody, and Murdoch on the Johanna, and I Just Fizzed, just playing Yrel. We're going to take a look at the talents here as both teams clash 5-on-5 because I'm counting Abathur. Diablo getting completely chunked out. I Just Fizz pushed into towers. Can they get a kill onto Yrel? That's a rough kill right off the bat. Abathur, though, able to soak anything Yrel might have missed. Teams migrating bottom. Sonya free clearing top, but the Abathur hat means Abathur will catch most of the soak, if not all of it, up top. So we see the rotations beginning. Diablo looking for something maybe a little aggressive on the Lily, as Adults with Jobs taking control of bottom with the Cassie and the Johanna. Now they seem to be rotating to the Pumpkin Camp, and Virtuoso may know exactly what they're about and deciding not to tangle with them. Cassia pushing way up. Yrel actually messing in mid. Abathur doesn't seem to care about the Sonya push into his lane. Now the big engage. Yrel is coming down. It's going to be a full team fight with Sonya missing. A slight advantage to Adults with Jobs with the Abathur hat. If he isn't hatting top, Virtuoso goes down. The Cassia damage is enough, along with the Yrel to help, and Diablo taken down, and the camp belongs to Adults with Jobs. Very strong start for them. And it looks like Yrel, rather than staying top, is going to be on mid duty, and Adults with Jobs trying to take a very early lead by pushing as hard as they can, but not really caring about all the structure damage that Sonya is going to do top. I like the strategy from them. So double camp bottom. Cassie is going to try and make sure in those pumpkins from their camp immediately take out that first tower. Retrofunk cleaning up the rest of that wave. Now Sonya starting to whittle away at this tower. Is going to get a tower in response. So even structure damage, but bottom lane being more important for Adults with Jobs. The pumpkins used up entirely on the bridge, but Cassia has to back away. The Lily heals are in time. The Abathur hat is there, and Retrofunk is not in danger any longer. Meanwhile, Yrel versus Hanzo just keeps pushing this lane in. Hanzo's completely out of mana. Superflip has to back before the altar phase begins. Sonya, meanwhile, got only one tower up here. So Odin, the Sonya push not as strong as Archetype would have liked, just being alone. Ooh, a big slam into Murmurduck, but the Unstoppable comes out. There's the blind on the Diablo. The Cassia damage is coming out. And Adults with Jobs begins channeling. Murmurduck stacks up to zone. Super Flip trying to get a scatter arrow, misses, but lands the Stormbow onto Randy. Both of the offlaners have captured the camps for their respective teams. Sonya now just soaking mid. Yrel coming down to help to make sure that Adults with Jobs get this altar. Renoris begins channeling. Can they invent the flashlight from Johanna? The shield guard stops it. A slam into Yrel, but Aegis does not care. Jumps into the back line. Murmurduck stepping up. They're going full bore into Archetype. Superflip getting very low in the back. They've got to stop chasing Diablo in the next target. And Adults with Jobs spreading their damage out, not able to find themselves a focused target yet. Sonya moved down from mid to join the party, and this is a full, all-out team fight. A big slam from Yrel pushes them away. Retrofunk is trying to channel, but the Hanzo arrow interrupts the channel. Virtuoso walks over just in time to give her a little slap on there. Cassia's almost out of mana. Cassia going for the blind build, just trying to make sure the entire team is blind as much as possible. Murmurduck has no escape, walks right into the waiting arms of the rest of the team and goes down. That was a surprisingly bold move from Johanna. She was very low, just walked into a ton of damage to try and possibly get the delay. And if you've got an Abathur, what you want is delay. All right. With the skirmish going over to Archetype, they have a small lead, but Abathur able to soak out most of that. We check the experience here. Abathur not getting as much soak as he would on a different map. Odin grabbing top camp. Adults with Jobs grabbing their camp. Archetype has already gotten their pumpkins, and here is to be the battle for bottom lane. Sonya all alone top. Yrel getting that soak mid. Oh, and Retrofunk steps into a Jaina, but gives a slam against the wall from Diablo. Cassia is in desperate need of some help. Murmurduck, though, getting very low. Murmurduck does not have the iron skin to escape, and another Johanna death. Archetype doing a very good job of focusing the Johanna down, eating through her defenses, and they push their pumpkins into the wall, and they're grabbing, it looks like most of it. This tower remains up as the altar spawns. It's a single altar. Johanna will be back now, and it should be an even fight, 8 versus 8, but a sizable, not incredibly significant lead over Archetype. They've got about half a level. They're going to get even more with this tower going down. And they get onto the altar. Cassia is very late. I don't know if they can stall this out any longer. Diablo gets the slam. It's Murdoch. Iron Skin is used to 4-man condemn. Here comes Cassia with the fence. Solo's getting very low. Cassia looking for the kill. Retro Funk in the back, though, getting spun on by the Sonya in the backline. Odin is making a huge problem for Adults with Jobs, but they turn around and focus. Sonya, Retro Funk, though, the hyper carry goes down. Can they do it? Aegisfist getting very low, but here's a flip from Diablo into the rest of the team, and down goes Urel. But another counter kill onto Jaina from Adults with Jobs. This is getting absolutely crazy. Abathur Het is out. Deckard Cain now the one in trouble. Randy with the hyper damage. Lily just throwing her blinds everywhere, but there's a big stun into the wall from Diablo, but Lily uses her fast feet to get away, and another altar going over to Archetype. Now keep in mind, this is pre-10. And with this style of Abathur composition with the hyper carry, Abathur really comes online after 10. So Adults with Jobs just stalling things out until their power spike hits, and that seems to be their gameplay in general. I've seen games where a big dragon's arrow comes in, and initiation comes out from Adults with Jobs. The lightning breath is there, and it wrecks Cassia. The water elemental is out. Urel trying to push them back in the tower. They're going to find a counter kill. 1-to-1 as Solo goes down on that. Jaina, Urel jumping forward, maybe trying to get more kills to push from Diablo into the rest of the team. Flips her back, and it looks like that's the end of the engage. The dragon arrow from Hanzo, very excellent engage, but they may have strayed a little too far into their own forts, and the quick rotation from the Urel helps secure another kill. Yeah, the 10s are online for Abathur, but the clone has not been used yet. You saw a lot of heroics just now used by Archetype for an even trading kills. Adults with Jobs have the upper hand at the moment. If they want to go team fight, it's a good time to do so. Aegisfist may be looking for it. They're looking to invade on this camp. The Lornado was out to make sure they can't grab it. And Urel jumps in, not in time. The Pumpkins are pushing Jaina. Throws out a Blizzard. The Valkyrie is here, and Jaina goes down. Another kill onto Jaina. Cups comes out to keep everybody alive. Retrofunk trying to find the kill on Sonya in the back. Can't find it. Has to return to the rest of the team. The Pumpkins cleared out by Adults with Jobs. They've got their own pushing, and they're going to get that tower, and they're probably going to get this altar. There is the momentum swing for Adults with Jobs as they hit 10 and start to come into their prime. They've got the tower down. They've got a whole pumpkin ready for this fort in the bottom, and this fort may be taken out. The Tornado trying to push them into the rest of the team, not having the effect from Minoris, but there's the route onto 2. Diablo doesn't have any follow-up, and they're trying to do the boss. They're trying to sneak it, and they're going to lose Sonya for it. I don't know if that's worth it. I honestly don't. I have a big question whether 4 shots this early in the game is worth losing Sonya over that. That's going to lose you a lot of XP. Abathur's going to be able to out-soak you, and with everyone else having to soak, Adults with Jobs can own this map. And they're doing so right now. They're stepping onto the bottom, and a early mule coming down from Abathur on the fort. Retrofunk maybe thinking about trying to get a solo kill onto Jaina. Ooh, tries to the Valkyrie, whiffs. Is a bold move for Cassia. Yeah, Sonya is back. They didn't seem to lose a whole lot. Jaina trying to throw everything down, but that preemptive mule is healing all that poke damage up. Here's a Lornado coming out. The Dragon Arrow misses from Hanzo. The Lightning Breath is out, but Cups is going to heal it all up. Urel gets into the back line. A big slam onto 3. Solo is looking very low. Cassia trying to get damage as much as people as can. Diablo gets fended by Cassia, and Adults with Jobs push them back into the kill zone. The Nats clone Abathur goes into the kill zone trying to find more. Gets obliterated by Diablo. Sonya spinning on a whole bunch of people. Everyone spreads out as 2 more altars come up, and the tower in bot firmly belonging to Adults with Jobs. Yrel may actually be able to channel this in time. Diablo does come back for the kill. Hanzo with the interrupt in the back line. Johanna. Oh, the Valkyrie! It hits! The Valkyrie connects onto Renoris. Deckard Cain in trouble. Deckard Cain goes down. Solo goes down as well. Jaina trying to find a counter call. There's 3 kills! Diablo gets taken out, and Adults with Jobs are continuing to control this game. Hanzo gets the channel odds. It's only going to be 3 shots, so it's going to be 3 shots to 5, but Adults with Jobs in control of kills, in control of the bottom lane, and that's what they've wanted from the start. All right. Lily will be backing as Sonya comes up top to try and get Archetype back into experience range. Actually, they're very close. Adults with Jobs have not run away in terms of experience yet. Adults with Jobs just setting up shop, as you do in the bottom lane. They're trying to kill these pumpkins before they get in the kill zone. It's imperative that they do, and it's just 2 members, only 2, keeping the rest of Archetype at bay. That is how powerful the control in bottom lane is now. Archetype stepping up as 5. Jaina gets stoned by the fort. She took a single fort shot. Retrofunk spotted it out, and the Valkyrie comes out. The lightning breath going down, getting a ton of damage. Nats might be in trouble, but it's just a clone. Cassia actually getting healed up by everybody, and Diablo taking out the clone with the 2 Cassia is too strong. Myrmidon making sure those pumpkins get in, and that's 3 more shots onto the core as Adults with Jobs decide, you know what? We're done. We've had a monopoly on bottom. Let's see if we can go for mid as well. But then tech, they're actually find a Hanzo super flip in desperate circumstances. Sonya gonna be grabbing top. And Johanna actually just making sure to get the XP, so gets 16. They're going to grab a bottom altar. They're going to... Oh, they could get all 3 of these altars if they are not careful. Odin might be in grave danger. Throws the spear onto Retrofunk. Cassia not taking nearly enough damage with the Lily, and the Cassia damage is insane with the triple blind. Retrofunk just rips through Sonya. She spun that whole time. Was not able to get that Virtuoso. Pushes Jaina. The Blessed Shield goes out and it actually misses. But that is 3 shots. 3 altars. Oh, Jaina! Yrel gets the kill down bottom, and only 9 shots remain on the core of Archetype, with the bottom fort in complete control of Adults with Jobs. They've even got a mule from Abathur. What a game for Adults with Jobs. A slam on Yrel into the kill zone. Yrel does not care. Just hits DQ. Gets healed right back up. And now pumpkins are back. It is relentless what Adults with Jobs is doing to this map and to Archetype. What a strong showing from them. Alright, Myrmidon. Gonna be trying to get something. Yeah, Valkyrie comes out and it actually lands. The blind and the stun and the kill goes on to the Hanzo. Diablo not able to help anything. And wow, Retrofunk on point with these Valkyries. Here's 3 more pumpkins walking into that core. That's not where they were. I mistimed that. And all Archetype can think to do is grab top as hard as possible here. They've got the pumpkins. They finally got the wall. Odin was left up here solo for much of the early game, and only now are they getting that front wall. Meanwhile, it's also Chops just bullying Archetype. They're not even down that much experience. Adults with Jobs just have so much map pressure. Finally, 4 shots now for Adults with Jobs instead of 5 as Archetype grabs that top altar. Both altars is GG. As well as Boss. Adults with Jobs wants to end this game. They're going to go for a team fight. Odin in trouble. Here's a Valkyrie. It stuns only the Diablo, but Sonya in trouble. The Nerves of Steel comes out. So Odin has the shield, but the backline of Archetype gets destroyed by the clone. There's 4 deaths. That is going to be GG as Adults with Jobs wreck Archetype in game number 1 here on Towers of Doom. And this, by the way, was Archetype's map pick. And that is going to be game number 1 here. as we see the core destroyed from the Ravenlord. Wow. That was brutal. They didn't even, it wasn't even like a 4-level lead or anything. Like, it wasn't your typical, like, it wasn't like a stomp like you'd see in, like, you know, a pro team beating an open team, or like, you know, a really good open team facing like a really amateur team. But even though they weren't that far behind in levels, you could tell Adults with Jobs were in complete control of that game. All right, we're going to find out where we're going next, and we'll be back very shortly with game number 2, and we're going to see if Archetype can rally back and make some mayhem of their own. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Archetype versus Adults with Jobs. Our next map, as chosen by Archetype, they opted to go for map pick, giving first pick to Adults with Jobs, is Battlefield of Eternity. And I believe both teams are ready. So we're going to give them the countdown, and we're going to get into the draft for game number 2 between Archetype and Adults with Jobs here for the Division A West Finals. Now, remember, this is game point for Adults with Jobs. If they win this, they take it home and they take themselves to the Div A Finals. The winner of this team will be facing ZZZ from Division A East. And they're a very formidable team, very powerful. And no matter who wins, we're going to be taking it from one end of the alphabet to the next. All right. Into the draft we go. First ban for Adults with Jobs is going to be Hanzo. We don't want to see any of that in this game. Adults with Jobs could have first picked him, but they decide instead to go... let me just... There we go. They decide to just take it off the board completely. They don't want to play the Hanzo game. And now Archetype banning out the Maiev in return. Adults with Jobs really thinking about the second ban because they have first pick. So they've got the choice, and they opt to go for the Li Ming. Also another annoying presence on this map, as well as, I would assume, a target ban against Archetype, as we saw it banned out in the previous game. The next band coming up from Archetype is going to be Cassia. They don't want to deal with it. The respect is real, as Cassia's a decent racer here, but boy, she was just ripping them apart. And with her physical damage, her physical armor trait, really rough to narrow her down with the kind of double support from Abathur and Lily. And Lily Cups just did a lot of fun. And they're going for Jimmy. Now, the question is, with Jimmy, is always, do you have Ace in the Hole, or do you have Exterminator on this map? Because Exterminator can rip down this Immortal very quickly. But now the Diablo Phoenix, that's a powerful combination. The Phoenix Purification Salvo with the Lightning Breath from Diablo is a fearsome combination that Adults with Jobs will have to deal with now. I'm a little surprised we didn't see the APOC Stay a While Ring combo from Jaina. They were opting to go for more of a sustained fight with like the Lightning Breath and the Lornado for control. And the Deckard Cade now being grabbed by Adults with Jobs. Urella's actually up, and they instead to opt to go for Blaze. Makes sense, because Bunker is a great answer to Lightning Breath and Phoenix ult. Purification Salvo. Deckard, pretty good on this map, but just a pretty good healer in general. Although I have to imagine, Whitemane is up. Adults with Jobs, might expect them to ban that, or the Tyrande. So they're going for the tank choke, because Archetype has already got themselves a tank. Yeah, the question is, do you ban Tyrande or Whitemane? I imagine Tyrande because, instead the Genji. They're too scared of those reset potential heroes, and it may be that Archetype has a lights-out Genji player. I expect Tyrande here. I've not seen Tyrande in many of these games. It's very interesting. People were singing her praises, but her value in the meta seems to have gone down a bit. And they go for the Arthas Tychus. They are going to run it down. Arthas with the extra slows into the Lightning Breath. You can just lock people down. Diablo dives in, pulls somebody out. Arthas runs at him. Tychus has the Odin. He's got the minigun. He's going to put a world of hurt on you. Raynor and Deckard had better watch out. And they get the Johanna and the Kael'thas. Kael'thas, something you don't see every day. But with the Arthas, you could imagine that this team is going to be clumping up a lot. Kael'thas can, you know, he's got the stun out on Arthas. It could be rough. But if Arthas gets into Kael'thas' business, that's going to be trouble. The blinds from Johanna will put a damper on that minigun and on the Phoenix, so have a tough time. And they go for the Whitemane as their healer. So leaving her up to the very last pick, even though she's very powerful, that Whitemane is really going to make the difference in the team fights. When these teams go at each other, that Scarlet Aegis, look for that to make or break a fight. Same on Adult with Job side, look for Bunker. The usage of that, if they can time it with most of the damage coming out from Archetype, they're going to be in great position. And look to see how successful Tychus is at ripping up the front line of Adults with Jobs. All right, getting ready to get into the game. And looking at the composition of Archetype. Let me think about this for a bit. I mean, Whitemane can keep people up very, you know, like through a lot of damage, and then Kael'thas is very like cooldown based because, you know, being a mage, she's not a sustained mage like a Gul'dan. But you've got Raynor for the sustained damage, very classic damage combo on the side of Adults with Jobs. And really, the question for me for Adults with Jobs is, what's your engage like? Is it Deckard stay a while and listen? Is it, you know, is it gonna be the Johanna shield? Is it gonna be the Blaze stun? You've got a lot of different options, but nothing like that's super killer. Anyways, we're gonna get into the game. We've got Archetype on the side of Heaven with Virtuoso playing the Diablo, Super Flip on the Tychus, Renoris on the Whitemane, Solo on the Phoenix, and solo we've got Odin with the Arthas. Oh, a switcheroo from Adults with Jobs on the side of Hell. We've got Randy playing the Kael'thas, that's funny. Murbaduke on the Johanna, Retrofunk playing the Raynor, Nats on the Deckard Cain, and I Just Fizz bottom on the Blaze. And it looks like Adults with Jobs feel like they have the better early game push, so they're opting to switch it up and 4-man top and just run at towers. Arthas, the only one available. They're putting as much damage as they can, and I think a mistake from Archetype. They're rotating back up to the enemy team. I don't think, even if they find kills, I believe this is a mistake. They're missing all the soak bottom, and Adults with Jobs, I think, have won this particular encounter. Phoenix even taking a lot of damage from Randy. Kael'thas. Arthas finally makes his way down. Blaze trying to make sure he can't get that soak. He misses a couple minions, but not too much. Adults with Jobs, though, they have a slight structure lead, and that's a very strong momentum in their favor. I Just Fizz having fun down there bottom. We're going to take a look at the level 1 talents. Raynor does go Ace in the Hole instead of Exterminator. No other real surprises except for Adrenaline Stimpack. This is going to be for burst, not burst, like just burn on the Immortal. He's going to get that level 7 Gauntlet, which is going to give him bonus damage on the Immortal. There's a root going down and lands on the Phoenix. I don't think they've got the follow-up onto Solo, but Virtuoso now getting whittled away as Adults with Jobs stay strong in this top lane. Virtuoso actually taking a lot of Kael'thas damage, has to back away and not spread the bomb to the rest of his team. But Whitemane is there with the heals. Deckard Cain actually going for Scroll of Identify. You usually see Sapphire in many of these situations. Arthas going for block, maybe trying to win bottom, but I think most likely trying to mitigate as much of the Raynor damage as possible. Block is such a good talent against the Raynor. Oh, Murmaduck getting taken down by that minigun from Super Flip. You saw him trying to stutter step and get as much damage as possible on the Johanna. Retrofunk playing tank for his tank for a little bit. Nats has to back as Deckard is out of mana. Raynor going to start on the camp right away along with Kael'thas. I wonder how quickly they can clear that out. Johanna coming to help. I don't know how much soak they're going to miss top. But Blaze doing fine. Neither of these heroes using up much of their health or mana. Here you see 3 people also. And Tychus getting very low, trying to get this camp. Adults to Jobs get their Bruiser camp first. That's going to allow them to get onto the Immortal as soon as possible. Diablo also going for the Feast on Fear. Not a surprise. Not really... not something you don't... It's something you see pretty often. Adults with Jobs start in on their Immortal. I don't know who has the better race. I have looking like it's about even. Adults with Jobs maybe have a slight advantage. Oh, but I think overall Adults with Jobs have got the superior race because Blaze and Kael'thas were not even on the Immortal until now. And Adults with Jobs going to start burning. There's Johanna's going to come over for a blind and see how much auto attack damage she can get off in the Immortal. Archetype is winning it so far. They will win the first Immortal, but Blaze was not there for that Immortal. So in the future, you can expect Adults with Jobs to have a lot better race than they did just there. Archetype grabbing the globes bottom, the globes in the middle. The Immortal will be pushing bottom. You got a 4-man. You got Arthur and Blaze branching off. And it's going to be 4 versus 4. Murmurduck taking a good deal of damage and backing out. There's Diablo getting hit by the root, and Raynor just AFK auto attacks on the Diablo and gets Virtuoso down very low. The Kael'thas damage is real. Very good defensive capabilities for Adults with Jobs. As this Immortal will get through the wall, Tychus maybe in a bit of trouble, and that'll be fine. Whitemane doing a good job healing everybody up. This Immortal will not get much besides the front wall. Down it goes. And Adults with Jobs staying even on experience. Let me look at the experience here. Adults with Jobs slightly out-soaking Archetype. But both teams have about the same number of mercenaries. And Adults with Jobs now grabbing this camp. Johanna successfully blocks the rest of Archetype from coming in. Tychus thought about a gank onto the Blaze, but Superflip instead comes back down as they realize that Adults with Jobs getting that camp. I wonder if they realized Tychus was missing and then decided to start that camp. Oh, this stun comes out in an excellent cleanse from Whitemane. Away from that, what was looking to be a very deadly CC combo with the root and the stun, headed for Superflip's direction. Alright, the root comes down to, the Kael'thas Flame Strike is there. Superflip down to 94 damage. Retrofunk maybe trying to find a kill, but now Raynor's in trouble as Retrofunk gets very low, but they find a kill on the Phoenix. The Kael'thas damage is there. It's fire, and it's deadly. They're going to get burned. Randy and Nats both have to back for mana as Blaze in control of this top lane. Arthur's going to think about starting that camp instead and just checking it to make sure. Looks for the root onto Blaze, doesn't find it. Arthur's going for the Frozen Waste talent. Kael'thas only at 10 globes for his Mana Addict. That's a little less than you'd expect, but they're getting this camp. It's going to be pushing during the Immortal phase. It's not soon enough for the camps, Bruiser camps to be available for either team, but Archetype now getting a little bit of a head start. It's only Diablo and Phoenix. Diablo way out front as Archetype backs up. The Immortals are on opposite positions. Johanna bravely stepping up into their Immortal, gets a stun onto Phoenix, but Johanna is all alone as Diablo separates her from the rest of the team, but now Adults with Jobs have control. They go in on the Diablo. Raynor is chunking him down. Virtuoso is getting low, but so is Johanna. Those Immortal stuns are very deadly. Tychus steps forward, trying to get the damage onto Ida's Fist as Archetype pushes forward. They're trying to get kills on Adults with Jobs. Murmurduck gets the stun out. The Kael'thas Flame Strike is there, and Johanna is dead. Johanna sacrifices herself for the rest of the team as Archetype successfully chase them down. The Khazra camp is pushing top. It's getting the wall, but it's not going to get much more than that as Archetype get a free halftime, taking out Johanna. Raynor going to start their camp. So they want to have this camp pushing top as much as possible. And they're allowing Archetype to get this Immortal for free. It's going to be a, looks like 75% shield Immortal. And that's going to be able to push pretty hard. Blaze stepping up, maybe providing some CC. And actually, they don't get the Immortal for free. They get the camp and they move in. I Just Fizz pushes them off, maybe with a little bit of a bluff. I think Archetype might have thought that the rest of the team was right behind them, but instead they get the camp and they successfully push Archetype off of that. But they're chasing down Blaze. He has to use Bunker. Odin himself is getting very low, has got the heal. I Just Fizz looking in real danger. Going to have to take a couple of sips of Deckard Cain potion there, but the Shaman camp is now a force that has to be reckoned with, as Archetype does not have 10. They can't go in against adults with jobs. They've got their heroics. Bunker already used, but the rest of the heroics available for adults with jobs. The Archetype coming in, and there's the stun. CC chain. Everyone tries to go into that choke. The sleep is out. Phoenix in trouble as Phoenix has to teleport away. That's 2 heroics used. I mean, Rainer's heroic doesn't really count as being used, but 2 heroics down. As Odin comes up now, they got the lightning breath out onto everybody, and Adults with Jobs, Randy is in trouble, and Odin coming in from the back. Kael'thas going down, but Adults with Jobs find 2 counter kills. In the meantime, Phoenix and Arthas both going down. They're trying desperately to get this Immortal, but Adults with Jobs will be able to kill them before they can finish it off. Tychus might be next. Odin comes down. Retrofunk trying to get the kill. Jimmy trying to kill Tychus again, and they both go down. Diablo helps find the kill onto Raynor, as it's 2 versus 3 on this Immortal. The only problem is Adults with Jobs can't get to their Immortal as quickly. Now Johanna trying to stop Diablo from getting free auto attacks on this. Phoenix now back in play, as it's a 4v4. Man advantage no longer in favor of Adults with Jobs, so they manage to put this up, but there's a Kael'thas damage and a Phoenix going into everybody onto Archetype. Phoenix responds with the Purification Salvo. Bunker goes down immediately, but it's not going to be enough to get much damage onto Adult with Jobs. And Adult with Jobs' Kael'thas pick is turning out so well. Archetype has to walk through so many chokes to try to get on Adult with Jobs. Here comes Phoenix in, put a little bit more damage on this Immortal. They're poking it, but they don't have a whole lot of poke. The sleep comes out to keep them at bay, and Adults with Jobs, they just want kills. They desperately want to kill before Archetype can finish this off, and they manage to finish off the Immortal without losing any more people. It's a pretty strong Immortal. And at the end of that battle, I feel like Archetype actually comes out on top. With that kill, I feel like burning the Immortal would have been better for them. They weren't gaining a whole lot of advantage from keeping that Immortal delayed, but Retrofunk and Randy combining in on that. Diablo Virtuoso taking a ton of damage, but going to be healed back up, no problemo by Wyman. Arthas walking into the back line. They've got Army of the Dead. Odin just pushing Adult with Jobs away. A Blaze comes in with a jet propulsion into the backline. Super Flip maybe in trouble. The minigun comes out, but is I Just Fizz going to be able to back away. The Immortal kills this first fort. Adults with Jobs still very healthy. Odin not available for this push, as Adults with Jobs, Johanna stepping up. Here's a Purification Salvo, lands onto 3. Phoenix taking a ton of damage, but Retrofunk taking even more. Murmurduck and Retrofunk have to back up. They're both very near death, but they both survive. Archetype does not find the kills, but the Immortal is still pushing. This is keep wall going down, and that's going to be enough for Archetype as they back up and grab this top Khazra camp. And what a good push by Archetype. The Adults with Jobs had to make them fight for every single inch of it. The Kael'thas just is good defensive power, but it's proving not to be... it's not slowing Archetype down enough to push as much as they want with it. But we've got Archetype with a level 13 talent tier advantage. They're moving down, rotating bottom. Adults with Jobs is here as 5, as they're missing Soak top. That camp will be pushing, but it is a 5v4 here. Bottom as jet propulsion goes in from Blaze. I Just Fizz getting a lot of damage. There's a Blessed Shield going out and hitting 2. Super Flip is in trouble, and so is Diablo. Virtuoso gets very low in some target focus issues with the Adults with Jobs, but Kael'thas putting damage on the rest of the team. Everybody's so low. Odin is popped. Meanwhile, Odin on Arthas getting low Blaze maybe trying to find the kill, but I just Fizz taking tower shots, tries to jet propulsion away, uses bunker. A great block from Diablo, but stay a while and listen. Stops Whiteman, and Whiteman goes down, but Kael'thas now the one in trouble. I just Fizz getting lightning breath to death. Diablo trades his life for the Deckard Cain and Blaze kill, but it's an even 3-3. Diablo is using his souls. Murderduck might not get out of here alive. Do we have 3 seconds until Iron Skin comes up? It comes up just in time as the Unstoppable hits from Johanna, but I don't know if she can get out, and there is the final laser from Phoenix. Retrofunk maybe trying to find another kill, but Diablo is back, and that is a 4 for 3. Johanna now a staggered death.
Repent before my wrath.
As the Immortal comes up in this Khazra camp threatening Fort. All right. And actually, the Immortal's up, but Archetype opts instead to go for the camp. This camp should be pushing bottom, I believe. To be threatening that bottom fort, which is where the next Immortal will be going, and also the Jobs respond in kind as they grab their own Bruiser camp. And neither team's starting in on the Immortal quite yet. Both teams healthy. Blaze instead going to clear out the camp, giving Adults Jobs the camp advantage if Tychus does not go top. Tychus thinks about going top, steps back around, steps in to get some damage on the Immortal. They're getting a decent amount of poke, but not a whole lot, as Adults with Jobs throw off some stuns. They get the Phoenix, and the Unstoppable has to be used as Solo getting super low. Phoenix still surviving. Raynor Gunship is destroyed, as Blaze now returns to the rest of the team, and Adults Jobs look like they may be getting on the offensive here. Johanna, whoa, the jet propulsion by Blaze misses everybody as the C's parts. The Purification Salvo is out, but Phoenix is in trouble. Phoenix goes down. Randy is the next to fall, perhaps, as Diablo gets one more auto attack in. Bunker goes down by Blaze, but there's a stale one listening, allowing Adults Jobs to reposition. The sleep is out. It's 2 for 1 as Adults Jobs try to escape, but Deckard Cain is found by Diablo. Johanna trying to slow the rest of the team down to allow Deckard Cain to escape. Nats gets rooted, and Nats could be the next to fall here. As wow, Deckard Cain just continues to stay alive. The jet propulsion comes in, but the body blocks from Odin are too much, and Johanna actually goes down. That's maybe too much. Odin, they tried Operation Rescue Deckard Cain, but it was a failure as Johanna goes down as well. And now it's 16-15 in favor of Archetype. Halftime will be reached, and Adults with Jobs will not be alive in time to stop this. Phoenix going back to deal with this Bruiser. Shaman camp, as it's just Tychus and Arthas hammering away, and that's an imbalance of people. Adults Job successfully pushes them away. It's going to be 6 seconds before Johanna is even up here, so maybe about 15 seconds before anybody can be here for Adults with Jobs. Diablo trying to poke it down with the Flame Stomp. Is that called? It's Fire Stomp. But it looks like Archetype is going to get this absolutely free, and this is a full Shield Immortal pushing onto the fort in most likely the keep of Adults with Jobs, as they have yet to pick up 16. Looking at the XP, Adults with Jobs actually out-soaking, but the hero kills and the structure damage is what the difference is in terms of experience.
The wickedness of hell dwindles before me.
All right. The Immortal will be chasing down the wickedness of hell. Odin popped in the backline as Odin and Odin flank Adults with Jobs from that bush. They were caught completely unawares. Lightning Breath is out. Randy is in trouble. How about a little Fire Scarecrow is kill? Deckard Cain almost saved the Kael'thas. Odin now getting chunked up, but this Immortal is very healthy and it is very much pushing as the Purification Salvo comes out. The bunker completely nullifies it. Everybody hops into the bunker as the Immortal now starts hitting the keep. It tears right through the wall. Arthas looking like very low, but I just Fizz looking very low as well, as trying to get that tap value. Raynor getting thrown around like a ragdoll from the Diablo. The Stay a While and Listen only hitting the Arthas. The Cleanse comes out maybe a little bit prematurely, but the keep is down. But there's a big chunk on Odin and the Phoenix. Phoenix almost gets killed, but the Whitemane heals are there. The Immortal pushes in, and Archetype walk away happy with getting the keep from this push. Luckily for Adults with Jobs, this is a huge wave that somebody can go and soak very soon. And if I were Blaze, I would actually be rotating there already.
Assault on hell. I must rest for a time.
Instead, Adults with Jobs, Randy thinks they might be on that camp. They are not. Instead, Archetype is opting for the top camp. And Adults with Jobs grabbing their Bruiser camp. Will they be pushing with it? This big wave. Come on, guys, soak that. Instead, they're going to go for a fight. It's an 18 to 16 fight. They caught them unawares. There's a big jet propulsion on at 3. The Chaos damage coming out, and Whitemane is obliterated. Virtuoso could be next as Fizz misses the jet propulsion, and Diablo walks away almost scot-free, but they're still chasing him down. The Deckard route lands the Purification Salvo, comes out. The Stale on Listen, making sure Diablo can't go down, but the Lightning Breath still not causing a problem as they take Diablo down, but Blaze direct in the back, in the front, but Odin taken out. The Kael'thas damage is too much as the bomb spreads. Tychus goes down. It's a 4-for-1. Actually, sorry, that was a full team wipe, but Diablo had souls. The core is in trouble from Adults with Jobs, and they're losing shields. It's got 83%, but oh, the troll catapults decide to destroy the mid tower first. But Adults with Jobs, instead of soaking that big wave, they go in for a fight, and it pays off. High risk, high reward, as they catch Archetype completely unaware in that bush. They're setting up to get onto their Immortal. It's going to be halftime before most of Archetype is even back. Adults with Jobs have got themselves a free halftime. This is going to be pushing bottom if they do win it. But now with Blaze here, who, by the way, did go for the Incinerator Gauntlet's talent, they're able to take this down, and if they're able to get a good push and get this Immortal, they will either win or tie the race to 20, but not if Archetype has anything to say about it. They're stepping up, defending on their Immortal. Myrmidon caught way out from the rest of his team. Jet Propulsion comes in onto Diablo. The Kael'thas damage is there, and Diablo gets destroyed. The Lord of Hell tastes some of his own medicine as the Kael'thas damage is there. But in the back, Randy even throws out the Mana Addict shield, but Tychus getting whittled down by Blaze. There's a Purification Salvo, and it's enough to kill Raynor. It's a 2-for-1 in favor of Archetype. They're winning this fight. Arthas is just chasing it down, running it down onto Deckard Cain, who does not have enough to escape. Or does he? Tychus is probably going to catch up, and Nats is going to be toast. Fizz can't do anything about it. Phoenix kills the Johanna in turn, and now it's Archetype's turn to be deadly as they come in. Halftime has already been reached. That means they can whittle down the rest of this Immortal. Tychus a little bit of trouble there, Super Flip, but he is healing that all back up with the Whitemane heals. As slowly but surely, it's taking actually a pretty long time for Archetype to burn this down. Blaze has to push up here as much as they can to make sure that these catapults do as little damage as possible. All right, everybody is back and healthy on the side of Archetype, but it's going to be 20 more seconds before the full team of Adults with Jobs is available. They're down 20. This could be a very dire situation for Adults with Jobs. Indeed. Raynor coming down here maybe to help kill these catapults. Are they looking to maybe get this fort to get 20? No, Retrofunk is backing up. Still, and he's on his horse. Is he looking for a flank? I'm not sure. Oh, he's just walking back. So maybe a change in plan there from Raynor as the Immortal is now pushing on. You've got Odin Pop. This keep is going to be toast. And Army of the Dead is popped. The Deckard Cain route zones them out. Here's a Purification Salvo come out from Phoenix. The bunker is down. The Lightning Breath to follow up. But Odin and Solo both taking a lot of Kael'thas bomb damage. Randy, though, in the back gets destroyed. Raynor is down. And this is probably going to be game. Adults with Jobs just can't kill anybody fast enough. This core is going down. And Archetype comes back to tie it up 1-1 in this best of 3. On Battlefield of Eternity. What an excellent game. Archetype now finding their stride. Adults with Jobs looking very dangerous.
but Archetype even more so. All adults with jobs almost came back on that. Here's your stats. Here's your talents. And there you go. But we're going to update the score here. And it's 1-1, ladies and gentlemen. You are not going to want to miss this. Make sure you stick around for game number 3. And we are going to Dragonshire, as Adults with Jobs have already informed me of the map that we're going to be playing. So we'll be back very soon, a lot sooner than last time, as I get the lobby ready to go. Stay tuned for game number 3.
Dragonshire.
for the Horde.
Oh boy. Okay, it's going to be 2 minutes of mute there. Oh, the one time I mute things. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dragonshire. Adults of Jobs is taking us here. And I was saying before, let the record show, there's no record, so it can't show anything, that I did call the Leeming ban. But other than that, Malthael ban seems to be targeted towards the Blaze, and the Yrel banned out. She can be a real pain up there in the top, and it looks like both teams, the Leeming and the Maiev ban, seem to be target bans from both of these teams. Tier 57, I appreciate your compliment of my voice there. And in fact, the Johanna ban, the Johanna pick first from Archetype, was surprised. People forget there's a 2 minute delay. But we've got the Blazing Cassia taken by Adults with Jobs. The Cassia, do they go full Cassia again? Are you expecting the Abathur from Adults with Jobs here is the question. Do you ban it out? I mean, it could be solo support Abathur for all I know. Now, Dahaka Deckard being picked up. Deckard, very powerful. And as I was saying, the Johanna, they want to control the rotations in between mid and bot. They want to control the wave clear and thus the rotations. Diablo banned out as they've already gotten their tank, denying a pretty strong tank to Adults with Jobs. Adults with Jobs banned out Tychus, which makes me think they want to take somebody pretty beefy right here. And he caused them a lot of problems last time. All right, the pickup. Maybe Garrosh and Asmodan. And yep, there's the beef right there. Asmodan, an Adults with Jobs classic. Man. That is a surprise here on Dragonshire, but you know, it's a good map for it. He's going to be able to stack, and the Johanna pick, surprisingly, is going to allow it to be it prevents Adults with Jobs from taking her, which means that they can't stack with the Asmodan quite as well. Thrall and Mephisto. I think this is my first Mephisto game that I've cast. We're going to see if he goes for that Consume Souls. Maybe he goes, I don't even can remember the name of the dang heroic. I want to say it's like Burden or something. But now Adults with Jobs grabbing the Whitemane as their healer. Whitemane and Deckard now the healer. Tyrande absent from these games. I think neither of these teams really likes the Tyrande. And Tyrande not being as powerful as I had expected. Now Thrall probably going to be with the 4-man. Is it a Crash Lightning or is it an Echo? Thrall is the big question. And I'm also interested to see what the Mephisto build will be, as I've not seen him in competitive play yet. Or at least I don't remember it, if you guys know something. But the real story of this draft is going to be the Dahaka on the side of Archetype. As we get into the game, whoops. But into the game we go. And I gotta abruptly cut that sound there because I don't have a good fader for that music. Anyways, on the side, in the blue, on the left side, we've got Archetype with Solo playing the Thrall, Odin playing the Dahaka, Superflip playing the Mephisto, Renoris on the Deckard, and Virtuoso playing the Johanna. And on the right side, in the red, we've got Adults with Jobs with Randy playing the Asmodan, Retrofunk playing Cassia, Murbaduke playing the Garrosh, Nats playing the Whitemane, and I Just Fizz on the Blaze. And Adults with Jobs, it's really all about the Asmodan stacking. How soon can Asmodan stack? What level 1 is he even going to go? Blaze going for the Adrenaline Stim Pack. They're really focusing on the wave clear for the Blaze. And Cassian now going for charge strikes. They feel like they can keep her safe during this. And also Jups not really stepping out front, not wanting to deal with this 5-man charged. Crash Lightning, the choice for the Thrall. And the 5-man continues as Decorating throws out a root, finds Retrofunk, but there's no follow-up. Blaze fast clearing top. Not going to be able to stop Dahaka from missing Soak. But Archetype blowing away Adults with Jobs on this rotation. Randy goes for the Gluttony, as Adults with Jobs just trying to catch up here in the wave clear game. And I just Fizz out-clears Dahaka very quickly, moves down mid, and is going to start double soaking. As Adults with Jobs going for a very early bruiser on Dragonshire. Very interesting play. Randy maybe trying to get some Qs. Only has 9 stacks so far. Now expect Asmodan to hit 200 before he hits level 10, as that's considered a pretty decent speed for Asmodan to be stacking. If he lags on that speed, Adults with Jobs probably don't have the kind of scaling that they want. And they're going to have to wait until even later in the game for Asmodan to have the kind of impact that they want. All right, these bruisers grabbed as the altars come up. Dahaka moving top. Not going to grab it right away. Blaze running right face first into Dahaka as Retrofunk and Nats now are pushing top. They're looking to push with these bruisers. Blaze grabs top camp. Asmodan will be just sitting here clearing. I don't think he realizes that Archetype have decided to steal the siege camp in return. That siege camp is a pain to clear once it pushes into that bush above the enemy tower. But Adults with Jobs now pushing onto structures of their own, as it's only Dahaka. Archetype not rotating to come stop this bruiser camp. A strong play from Adults with Jobs right out of the gate as the rest of the team rotates mid to grab Soak. Asmodan grabs the attention of the Siege Giant. Already killed one. 2 more pushing bottom. But Archetype not going to get quite as much value. That Giant focused that tower down. Actually, it may be equal value. No, they got the full front wall. And the Bruisers are still pushing. Blaze ignoring the altar, using his Adrenaline Gaunts to just focus on this fort. They almost give up the Dragon Knight, but a quick cap from Garrosh. Murderduke on the Garrosh there. Going to stop it, and this game quickly becomes all about macro. Adults with Jobs, this is pretty par for the course for them. They are a very strong macro team, as they've said in the past. Blaze actually grabbing top as Dahaka has to deal with all of the wave clear that Blaze is offering. It's available. Cassius starts capping. Can they keep it on the thing? And they've got themselves a Dragon Knight. Adults with Jobs have the late game with the Asmodan, but the early game, they go all in on pushing top, and they are doing one heck of a job macroing. Archetype not finding any kills bottom as this Dragon Knight pushing for free. I mean, Mephisto's doing a decent job of whittling him down. The kick misses as Superflip teleports back. Auto teleports back behind there. Blaze is moving down mid now to push with the rest of that tower. Maybe finish the job that the Dragon started. Now the Dragon joins the team with 30 seconds left on the Dragon Knight. There's a kick away from Johanna. Superflip all way out, but it's Mephisto, so Mephisto teleports back. Was never in any real danger. There's a Thrall root. As we look at the stacks, Asmodan only at 53 right now, but he's continuing to gain more during this team fight. Another boot from this Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight's got only 6 seconds left. Walks away. Murderduke uses the Indomitable to get out of the Decker Cane route, and now the chase is on. Odin digs down, finds a stun onto Whitemane. Will Nats be able to get out? The Whitemane heals are there, but they're not enough as Thrall with the Crash Lightning bounce. They almost find the return kill onto the Mephisto, but Retrofunk has to escape. And I thought Whitemane was going to get a little healing boost because the healing potion was red. But hey, who cares? As I Just Fizz, AFK pushes his way to victory in the top lane. Odin now responding to it in the Dahaka. Archetype now trying to catch up in experience. Adults with Jobs, relentless in their macro pressure, grabs the bottom camp for free as Archetype has to respond to the rest of this map. They decide to get their bruisers of their own. But they're here. They are ready to roll. As this bruiser camp pushes Myrmidon, maybe trying to find a throw onto somebody. He is not getting it on the Johanna. He's trying to save it from maybe the Mephisto. Their bruiser camp is getting whittled down. There's a big stun onto 2 people, but doesn't find the throw. The Deckard Cain root comes out. Roots 3. Super flip now in the backline, trying to get some damage, but Blaze comes in with a jet propulsion on the flank. Retrofunk, though, taking a lot of damage as Adults with the Jobs back off, but they've got themselves a full level lead. The 10 is right around the corner as the objective comes up to Haka, though, pushing in with this bruiser camp. Let's see if its Archetype can get as much done top as Adults with Jobs did. The heroics are in. No real surprises. Cassia holding her ult, though. So holding it for a very long time, Aegis Fizz comes in to clear this up. That'll allow Dahaka to grab the shrine as soon as it pops, but that mage minion is dead, and with the Incinerator Gauntlets and the Adrenaline Stimpack, Blaze is now a macro machine. Remember those cards, everyone? Those are fun. Anyways, Adults with Jobs have free reign as 10 belongs to them, but now it is Valkyrie for the Cassia. But 10 is also here for Archetype. Aswanan is not anywhere to be seen. Dahaka comes down, tries to start the fight. The isolation comes out onto the Garrosh as he finds his way to safety, but everybody else in the backline gets pushed away by the Lornado. Nats is in trouble, but Whitemane heals herself. Retrofunk, though, might be in trouble, trying to do as much damage as she can before she goes down. Nats goes down as well, trying to get the heal out, and it's 2 dead in exchange for none as Azmodan was just pushing mid. Blaze getting all the push he can up top. But there's no more structures for Blaze to take in that top lane. Azmodan a little bit behind on his stacks. They're not able to stack the minions as much as Randy would like. So they're going to have to go a little bit longer in the late game to get Azmodan up to full potential. And Odin now pushing Blaze off of this. Looks like Blaze doesn't want to let Dahaka have this for free. The tongue goes on to Blaze. Meanwhile, on the bottom, Garrosh maybe trying to find a way in, but the 3-man of Adults with Jobs trying to prevent any kind of Dragon Knight push. Now, Dahaka, though, missing a ton of soak. Top has to leave the altar. Now the altar belongs to Archetype. Garrosh all alone against Archetype, but they can't push in. They don't have the wave clear to clear that wave out, and Adults with Jobs now grabbing their bruiser camp. That's going to be very strong top. Dahaka will capture this. Archetype may make a play for the Dragon Knight. Yeah, it looks like 3 members stepping up. The Blessed Shield goes on to Asmund, and do they have the kill onto Randy? They don't. The heroic down. That's Blessed Shield down in exchange for nothing. Randy already threw out his Q. He's going to have a tough time interrupting this channel. Oh, no, actually, Blaze and Cassia push off Dahaka. There's the Valkyrie out of the Dahaka. Odin could be in trouble. Cassia chasing Dahaka down. Retrofunk has got the kill. Uses isolation. That's another heroic. That's a whole bunch of heroics burned for no kills on the side of Archetype and Adults with Jobs. Now control the altar. Garrosh, though, caught in a 2v3 with Nats on the Whitemane, tries to throw his way out, but staying on the point. They get the Thrall kill mid, and this could be Dragon Knight go. No, it won't, as Adults with Jobs. That Earthquake preventing the Dragon Knight cap long enough for Dahaka to get the top, and then Burwin to bottom, creating a mismatch, and now it is Archetype's dragon to capture, but they are down 1 man and down a level. This could be trouble if they decide to sting around here. The Adults with Jobs, Blaze grabs top, the rest of Adults with Jobs grab bottom, as now Archetype moves up top to try and find something. There's a big stun going down onto Retrofunk, but there is Virtuoso caught in the rest of everybody else, and the Valkyrie and Warlord's challenge confirm the kill. That's 2 heroics down. Just to make sure, Aegis Fizz can't cap this. Odin tries to go for the stun. Aegis Fizz dodges. And now the rest of Adults Jobs are here. Dragon Knight going over to them. And now it's time for some more killing of forts. Dragon Knight pushing in bottom. Dahaka is burrow up, Burrow is now back up. Brushstalker is available for Dahaka, so Dahaka can move in anytime he wants, but now he's just double soaking as they give this fort over to Adults with Jobs. Throws out a root onto Garrosh, not landing anything. Look at Crash Lightning, only 8 stacks. You hate to see it. That said, Azranan not even at 200 yet, but this Dragon Knight, it doesn't matter. Pushing hard on the front wall. This is going to be a front wall probably going over to Adults with Jobs. I don't think they can kill the Dragon Knight fast enough. Dahaka just doing his soak thing. And if they try to push in on this keep, expect Dahaka to burrow in and cause trouble. There's the Azranan Q going down. The Globe of Annihilation hitting a bunch of people, but the Deckard Cane Root holding everybody in place. Dahaka not coming in yet, but this Dragon Knight getting very low. Not going to be able to do a whole lot of damage to that keep. Adults with Jobs decides that's all they can get, and they back out, trying to make their way to 16 first. And along the way, they're going to grab this camp. Rubber Duck making sure nobody can come in. A quick throw on the Johanna. They get the camp. A Thrall Root is not enough. I just fizzed. Propulses into the rest of his teammate. Lornado tries to keep him there, but he sneaks his way around it, and the damage from Adults with Jobs into the choke is so much, but Nat's getting super low. Whitemane out of mana. Whitemane goes down, but they find the return kill onto Johanna, and the Globe of Annihilation is just too much. Dahaka burrowed in, but 2 go down. Solo is going to be next. That's 3 for 1 in favor of Adults with Jobs, and they may be looking at this keep. Oh, Jet Propulsion comes in, an excellent burrow from Odin. Valkyrie comes out, Mephisto dodges it, Retrofunk almost getting that pick onto Super Flip, but this is a big push. 4 members versus 2. Pushing onto this keep, and this keep will belong to them. Mephisto can't put out enough damage. Let me check the damage numbers here. And yeah, Thrall's got the most damage, just not a whole lot of damage on the side of Archetype. The Mephisto not really providing the sustain that you want from that pick in the draft. And Cassia, Retrofunk, showing that Cassia ban in that second game was worth it. Retrofunk just killing it on the Cassia.
The shrines are gathering power. The dragon.
Adults with Jobs grabbing bot camp and siege camp. They've stacked their camps, and they're going to be pushing onto the core of Archetype. They're grabbing their top bruiser camp, but these 2 camps are trouble. Dahaka will have to clear them, will have to leave top, and Adults with Jobs in a very good position. 16 though here now for Archetype, so they've got to see if they can find a fight. The bruisers being grabbed by Adults with Jobs for themselves. Blaze up top.
Take the Dragon Knight's power.
Going to be fighting Dahaka for the shrine. And this will be in favor. The 4-man clears the camp threat that came out from Adults with Jobs. Good play from them. As Dahaka steps on contest this shrine, Blaze is losing this battle so far. Gets the stun though onto Dahaka. Retrofunk here though is here maybe to get the kill on Odin. Gets the dig out. Do they have the stun? They don't. Valkyrie was available if they wanted to stop that Dahaka, but instead they're going to take their victory. They're going to make sure their bruiser camp wins. They're going to give up bottom keep in exchange for that. Archetype taking what they can, find themselves a fort, and back into this game in terms of experience. Now, Adults with Jobs getting a full rotate. Here's a big flank coming out from Blaze. Going in, doesn't land the jet propulsion. Everybody backs off. Cassia comes around, gives the damage out. I just Fist taking a lot of damage, but not too much. There's the Earthquake down, gets stunned. Blaze just barely gets the root. Bunker off. Garrosh gets in the bunker. Garrosh very low. The Valkyrie comes out, but doesn't land in time. Blaze has to escape. Nats is in trouble. There's a big stun onto Retrofunk, and that flank fails for Adults with Jobs. They try to go big, but instead they go home. But Blaze comes out, finds a Thrall in the middle of nowhere, far away from his team. Cassia finds the return kill, and that's actually in favor of Adults with Jobs. They've got the camp pushing top, and what a rough time for Archetype. They did not want to lose that Thrall there. Having gotten a pick for themselves, Adults with Jobs find the reverse pick. Deckard Cain throws out a route to try and keep them off this camp. Azodan throwing out globe after globe, and they find themselves Johanna kill. They thought they could go back and grab that shrine, but it's just kill after kill as Adults with Jobs chain get themselves some nice chain kills. Blaze is going to go top, grab it, and this is probably going to be a DK going over to Adults with Jobs. They even grab themselves a siege camp that's going to be pushing Murmaduke. Almost gets rooted by the Deckard Cain. Playing anchor for the rest of the team, and Dragon Knight indeed goes over to Adults with Jobs. So Johanna is back to defend for this Dragon Knight. It looks like they're going to go for the keep. Dragon Knight finds a kick on the Thrall. That's going to prevent a lot of damage from going onto that dragon. Finally, Garrosh steps up, finds a stun onto the Hawk, and gets the throw in. Can they focus him down? The Valkyrie comes in, though, onto Fister, who gets kicked away. Everybody from Adults with Jobs starts getting low. The bunker is down. Everybody is in the bunker. And between the Earthquake and the healing from Deckard Cain, nobody is looking low. As this Dragon Knight now going onto the keep, that was a lot of heroics for a lot of nothing from both teams, but 20 is here for Adults with Jobs, and Dahaka now in the back. Dahaka goes down. That's a big kill for Adults with Jobs. Dragon Knight kicks Thrall into the action. He's stuck there too. Solo is going to maybe die here. Mephisto trying to stop them from killing Thrall. Blaze trying to slow him down as much as possible. I don't know if Solo can get out. Azodan is caught way up front in this Dragon Knight. He's got 13 seconds. They can't whittle it down fast enough. Murmurduck is there preventing any more damage to go into this Dragon Cave. This could be core. They're thinking about going for it. They got 4 seconds left on this Dragon Knight. They got a wave bottom. They've got a wave mid pushing in. They're going to maybe go for core. They're trying to find the kill on the Johanna. She gets chunked down. The Azodan damage comes out. Doesn't land on enough people. There's the Valkyrie onto the Deckard Cain. The Virtuoso gets killed. Johanna goes down. Deckard Cain goes down. Adults with Jobs looking very low, but Archetype can't do enough. The 3v5 almost happens, but Core probably going over to Adults with Jobs. This could be it. This could be Adults with Jobs taking down the #1 seed and becoming the Division A West champions. Here it is. Mephisto goes down. Adults with Jobs win 2-1. What an intense match. Whew. Adults with Jobs bring it together. They come out of the gate swinging hard. They almost drop it, but a quick turnaround. They snatched that. Oh man, they lost somebody. They lost a big pick that would have brought Archetype back into the game. But quick thinking from I Just Fizzed brings them back and turns the game around single-handedly with one jet propulsion. And we're going to see if we can't get ourselves... We got the talents there. Let me bump that up to 2-1. And we're going to see if we can get a interview with Adults with Jobs. Where's NGS? Sorry, I've got to find the channel that people can join. And we will be joined by Retrofunk and Nats from Adults with Jobs as soon as they get into the lobby, which is right now. Retrofunk, are we waiting on Nats here?
No, I'm here too.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because you are in the same location. So thank you so much for joining us. That was a fantastic game. You guys are Division A West champions. How's it feel?
Yeah.
Feels great. I think we were kind of a dark horse, maybe a little underestimated, and we proved that we belong here. Yeah,
I would say the same thing. You guys were #2 seed, but going into this, I said at the start of the cast, you guys probably the underdog, Archetype the favored. I mean, we scrimmed them at the beginning of the season, I remember, and they are a very strong team, but you guys turn it around. Let's take a look at some of these drafts here. I noticed you guys were perpetually banning Li Ming. Is that because she's strong in the meta, or because Archetype one-tricks her, or both?
It's not a one-trick of Archetypes.
Well,
but
yeah.
Super Flip is terrifying on Li Ming, and we don't want to put a reset hero on. I mean, I feel that he's probably the most dangerous player.
Okay.
I don't want him to be resetting on us.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Mad respect for Super Flip.
Oh yeah,
which I hope you guys are watching. Looking at that first game, Towers of Doom, you guys ran away with that. You were in complete control of that entire game. You started by banning. Both teams were banning a lot of offlaners. Was Yrel pretty much the plan the whole time?
No, we have a handful of offlaners that we just kind of gun for. Urel's one of them. She's one that works in that. Blaze is another that we're very fond of with that strat and comp.
Excellent. Now, you guys went all in on the Cassia and Retrofunk. I have to say, you played a phenomenal Cassia in both Game 1 and Game 3. Is this a comp you guys have practiced a lot?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, both Game 1 and Game 3 were extremely comfortable picks for us.
Okay, so you guys do the Abathur with the Cassia a lot then.
Yep.
Yep.
We
And
did.
Abathur on towers.
Yeah, Abathur Towers, that's like, if you look at our match history, I would say 75-80% of our games.
Yeah. Now, I noticed you guys, in game number 1, you were not worried about that Sonya top at all. Is that part of your experience that she just can't threaten that top lane?
We just don't care about top lane at all. Top lane is a garbage lane.
Just give it right up. I like it.
Not only that, but Abathur can soak both top and mid. So it's really easy to send everybody else bot and keep control.
Yeah. So now, game number 2, looking at your guys' draft, Cassia banned out straight away. They've got the respect for you there, but they ran it down at you with the Arthas and the Diablo. Excuse me, along with the Phoenix. What was the plan facing that Arthas?
The Arthas was, our main worry was the Wombo with the Phoenix, and our plan was to use Blaze as our bunker provider and avoid the whole thing, which worked several times, but at some key moments they pulled it off and we got punished pretty hard. So
yeah, late game in game number 2 there in Battlefield of Eternity, we saw you guys were trying to defend that last Immortal. Did you pretty much think it was GG, or were you trying to think of something else? Because I noticed, Retro, you walked down bottom and then thought maybe about going back, and then it seemed a little bit off there.
Oh, our concern was only to get 20, so we were both, I guess, Jalen and I were like trying to speed clear bot to get 20 and then rush back into the top lane.
Gotcha.
It was looking grim. We didn't have high hopes, but we had to get 20 at least.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, you guys, game number 3, Dragonshire, looking at the draft, you guys go for the Garrosh Azmodan. What is this? I assume, is this about comfort heroes, or is the way your composition works together a comfort for you?
Well, Asmo, or Randy on Asmo, is always very consistent at chunking, and I'm pretty consistent at target killing. So, those two pieces work together, and Merm is pretty terrifying on Garrosh. Like, we like Garrosh on that map because he can go Indomitable and hold the bot, so we can get caps, which we did several times. Yeah, we capped the dragon that way.
Yeah. Now, the top bruiser play, you guys, that was phenomenal. You guys really got a great start there and started snowballing. Is that a macro decision you practice often?
Yes. Okay. That's one of our main decisions. Yeah.
Gotcha.
We go for bruisers instead of siege every time, and then we 3-push it.
That worked out very well. Archetype had really tough time responding to that. Now, the Azmodan, I bring into question a little bit. He was not really able to get. I don't think he stacked to 200 in that game.
Well, it was a 16-minute game, 17-minute game.
Yeah.
He was at the end of the game. He was around 280.
Okay.
He was close to 300. Yeah.
Okay, because I think it was like you guys were almost 20 before he even got to 200. And normally, you expect the Azmodan to stack by level 10. Were you just pretty confident that you could go late into the game?
He's kind of our protection. Like, if we get late in the game and he's fully stacked, they're in trouble.
Okay. Sounds excellent. And I just want to ask that the turning point of that game, and everybody in chat saw it as well, give mad props to I Just Fizzed. Finding that thrall chasing you down at that gate. What was that comms like when that moment happened?
We yelled thrall a lot.
Was it I Just Fizzed who noticed it?
No, it was Randy.
Okay.
Because I was tunneling on Super Flip, I think, and then they started yelling Thrall, and I turned around and just blew them up.
That's some amazing reflexes from I Just Fizz. Turn around, immediately got the jet propulsion to the Thrall, and he got instant deleted. That got you the snowball that allowed you to win the game. Once you guys, I think it was it Whitemane who died early, or was it Garrosh?
No, Garrosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? What was the feeling when you lost Garrosh? Like you saw that you had to recollect yourself and come back. Like what was the thought there?
Actually, I don't think we were too worried because we do a lot of counter killing in our team fighting, and we're pretty comfortable with that. So we're kind of just like doing the dance, following the rhythm back toward the wall, the wall, and looking for the opportunity, which presented itself. All
right, and you guys did it, and you made your way into Game 3, and you won it. I do have actually one more question I missed about Battlefield of Eternity. You almost found your way back into this game, 18-16. Instead of just deciding to, there's a huge wave that you can clear up, you say, let's surprise them. You found the right bush to get into. What was your thought behind the vision control there for that pick?
Exactly that. We didn't want... It was an attrition game where if they were far enough ahead that if we just tried to do the soak, they would hit 21st. So we wanted to get fights in while our death timers were as low as possible, like as many fights in as possible, and that one just worked out really well.
Yeah, Merm found it.
Yeah, we saw the camp get capped, so we knew they were going to rotate into their bruisers, and that was kind of a risky rotation for them going that path, but they did it and worked out.
Yeah, that game seemed like a sort of a battle of the chokes. You guys would walk into a choke and they'd chunk you down, and then they'd walk into the choke and you guys would find it. So it was very...
That damn super flip popping out of the smoke and his freaking Commander Odin.
Yeah, that
he caught us so many times with that.
Yeah.
The flank bottom lane was brutal. I will say that.
Yeah, it was. That was a really nasty fight.
Yeah, they
I saw Arthas pop out and I was like, oh god.
I was like, did they catch you off guard with that one?
They did.
Yeah.
100%.
Fair enough. All right. That's all my questions for you guys. You guys did... Actually, no, it's not all my questions. You guys, going on to the Division A Grand Finals. Let's take a look at the bracket here. You will be facing ZZZ, who looked very strong in their own right. You've watched them play, I assume. How do you feel about the Grand Finals?
Div West, best West?
Yeah, West is best.
West is best.
Hey, I'm not going to argue with you because I have a vested interest in that myself. But yeah, I mean, I want an excuse as to why I came in last place.
You're at the wicked competition.
Yeah.
No, we haven't scrimmed against them, so it's going to be a bit of like the first couple games we'll be feeling each other out a little bit. But I'm confident in my team.
All right, you guys gonna start scrimming and practicing ahead of that?
I think we're gonna do some versus AI.
You
know I don't know.
You
definitely will scrim if we can find some partners.
Yeah, I mean, you joke about that, but it's an actual tool that pro teams use.
Oh yeah, we use it for. Well, I'm not gonna say stuff.
I mean, I'm gonna guess that that bruiser camp. On Dragonshire, you might have practiced it against some AI. So that's just a guess. I don't know anything. But thank you guys so much for the interview. Good luck against ZZZ. I had the pleasure of casting their game as well in the finals, and it's going to be a hell of a match. So look forward to that. Let's see, who's going to cast that, actually? We have... I'll let you know, the audience know, after the interview. Right now, it's time for shout-outs. Who you guys want to shout out there?
I want to shout out my team, first and foremost. I'm very proud of all of us moving through in our second season of NGS and coming out at the top of our division. So that is a very good accomplishment. I'm very happy with that. I got a shout out to Archetype. They've been strong the entire time, and this is the match that we've had our eyes on for a long time, and we prepared a lot for it. So they fought really hard, and it was a really good set. I hope they find good jobs. And I want to shout out to NGS Order and you casters.
All right.
You guys it's really, really fun to have our games casted.
Well, thank you. All right. Well, that's going to do it. Thanks from Adults with Jobs. Thank you guys so much for joining us for the interview, and congrats once again on your 2-1 victory over Archetype.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Thank you.
All right. Good night. All right. And there goes the Division A West champions here in NGS Season 5. Oh, boy. What a crazy match that was. That was absolutely intense. Thank you guys so much for joining me. That was such a pleasure to cast. Make sure you guys follow me. Scroll down, hit that follow button on Twitch, and I will be casting the the Storm Division Champion Grand Finals for NGS for the end of Season 5. We're going to end it out strong. If you're watching on YouTube, go to twitch.tv/ghostdunk to follow me. I'm on Twitter at IlluminatedWax, so check me out there. Make sure you guys stay tuned after this. I'm going to send you over to Swing Time, who is casting the Div C West Finals. It may be the end of it. I don't know. But we're going to send you over there anyway. Say hi to Swing, and then Swing will take you over to someplace else along with Cody Kraz. It's going to be a good time. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Make sure you guys check out NGS in February. It will be back for Season 6, so make sure you check it out. Make sure you sign up if you've got a team when signups happen. I will be at BlizzCon. If you're watching this and you're at BlizzCon, check me out, baby. I'll be there. And I look like this, so I'm not going to change my beard up too much or anything. It'll be a little shorter, but it'll be good. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks to my dad if you're still up. It's bedtime for both of us. I've got work tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So that is going to do it for me. Once again, we've got Adults with Jobs becoming the Division A West champions, going 2-1 over Archetype. I've been your caster, Ghost Dunk. Thank you guys so much for watching me. Hope you guys all had a good time. Love y'all. Good night. God bless.